Welcome to Escape This Podcast, a show that's a mix between tabletop role-playing and escape room puzzles. We are now on episode 11 of our fan guest game master series.
You know what? It must be like December right now when this is coming out, so it's not getting creepy, it's getting festive.
It's getting festive, everybody.
I make no promises. Abandoning creepy.
This is a festive room. It was not prepared as a festive room. It would be a very big coincidence if our guest game master comes on and says, "Oh, ho, ho," like that would be. It's just not what the room is, but it's getting festive. Dani, how are you feeling about these rooms? Do you think you? I know last season you complained about getting worse.
I was getting burnt out.
We've talked about this every intro, but I think you're doing great.
It feels like it's getting okay. At this one, it took me a slow warm up this time, but I think I'm feeling pretty comfortable.
You spend so much time drawing all of the pictures.
This is true.
That I end up taking all the actions.
Also true.
And we talked 2 episodes ago at least, about you taking more choices, control of more of the choices and actions. So we're going to do that again today.
I think I must have been drawing when you said that.
Yeah, probably, right? So you got to lead the way with this one.
Sure.
You got to make all the decisions.
Oh, okay. Good.
I'll do nothing. I'm going to do lots of drawings.
All right, easy.
All right, we're changing roles. Every episode this season, we have a guest game master come on and run us through a room that they've created. And this episode, our guest game master is Jesse Birnstihl. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm Jesse Birnstihl. I'm an English teacher from North Carolina, and I'm really excited to hang out with y'all and run a room for you.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we're super excited to play.
Which Carolina is the best Carolina? Is
Obviously, North Carolina. Obviously.
All right.
That's
well,
not even a question. On the line.
That's
like saying, is Australia or New Zealand better?
Oh, God.
Well, we're excited to have you on and to start a war between the Carolinas. So I don't know anything about this. I'm assuming it isn't a festive room.
Actually, yes. Oh, ho, ho, ho. We have too many Santas. No, actually, it's actually like based on a novel because I'm an English teacher and I got really excited when I was teaching this novel with my students. It's based on Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451. So I was actually going to ask you, after you asked me the intro questions, I was going to ask you, have either of you read that book and or seen the 2018 HBO film?
I didn't know that existed.
So we obviously haven't seen the movie.
I've
never read it. I've never read it. I know it. I know of it. Well, I say I know it. I don't really know it. I know of it.
Okay, now, I have not read it. However, I have tutored it in English tutoring that I do. Therefore, I have read summaries of it. I have read all the Sparks notes of it. So I know fragments and excerpts and overall plot.
All I know about it.
That's all you need to know.
It's one of those books where everyone says, "Oh, it's about censorship," and then Ray Bradbury says, "It's not about censorship," and then people say to Ray Bradbury, "Sorry, it is. You're wrong, Ray. Get out of here. You don't even know you're."
I thought that was about Slaughterhouse-Five. That was the one that he went in and said, "Here's what it's about," and people said, "No, you're wrong, writer."
That's probably also right.
It could have been.
So no, I don't know. I feel like there was a point in my life where I said, "Am I going to read Fahrenheit 451?" And then I read A Clockwork Orange instead. I feel like I sat at one point, I made that decision, and then I never went back and read Fahrenheit 451.
I feel like it was more the point where you sat down and you read Steinbeck's instead.
Maybe that's also as well. I said, should I read Fahrenheit 451 or Cannery Row? And I chose Cannery Row.
All right, well, that is our intro question done. So back to you, Jesse.
Yeah. So every time we have a guest on the show, we have questions to start and have people get to know them. So this is a escape room show, even an escape room show, if you'd prefer. What is your escape room experience?
I've done about a half dozen escape rooms, like in actual real life, and also probably a million video game / tabletop game escape rooms.
Nice.
Solid.
How long have you been into escape rooms? Like, when did you start doing sort of physical escape rooms?
Maybe 2017.
Okay,
that's getting into it at a decently early time.
I haven't done as many as I would like to, but I'm also not great at them.
Now,
the physical puzzles always get me.
Is it a searching? Is it like being in a physical space and doing the searching and trying to find?
Oh, it's like those rope puzzles and things like that.
Little like dexterity puzzles and things.
Yes.
Yeah, they always get you. It's nice in a virtual setting where you can just sort of be like, I do the thing.
I'm good at ropes.
Yeah. Oh, the character in this room, he knows how to do everything. He just does it.
And so, yeah, you mentioned tabletop stuff. What's your tabletop role-playing experience like, since that's the other half of the show?
I have been playing Dungeons and Dragons for about 8 years, most weeks, about once a week, with about 3 different groups. And I'm starting a campaign of City of Mist, which is a different role-playing system based on ordinary people who channel mythical beings. And they solve mysteries.
Excellent.
Nice.
All right.
I think we are ready.
All right. I'm nervous because I'm going into this saying that of the two of us, I know Fahrenheit 451 better.
And you've agreed that you have to make all the decisions.
You don't need to know anything about the book because I give you kind of an overview in the introduction. And just for your reference, the two of you are going to be sharing a body for this game. The two of you together will be playing a character named John Beatty.
Gotcha.
All right. Let's get going.
You live in a futuristic society in which technology and entertainment have replaced all manner of critical thought. People constantly distract themselves from any unhappiness by tuning into the programs on the parlor walls. Huge flat-screen TVs that occupy multiple walls in most homes, and seashell radios, wireless in-ear headphones. Books are contraband in this society, and it is the job of firemen to burn any books they find to ensure the happiness of all citizens. You are John Beatty, and like your father and grandfather before you, you are a fireman. You've never questioned your role in society. Until recently, that is. Can books really be as dangerous as the fireman's manual claims? You wonder what it is about them that inspires people to act so irrationally that they risk their own lives to read them. At a recent alarm, you actually stole a book and brought it home with you. Too afraid to read it, you hid it in an air vent. Its presence has kept you awake at night. And now, you're worried that Captain Brazier is onto you. He's started saying strange things to you, things that you suspect might be quotes from books. It's a little off-putting, but you haven't taken it too seriously until just now. You were at the station when an alarm was called in. Strangely, only you and Captain Brazier have been assigned to the response. He says nothing to you on the ride to the location. Pulling up to a small house, Captain Brazier tells you to go in ahead to make sure the suspect has been properly removed from the premises. Even though something feels off, you do as you're told. When you enter the front door, you hear a click behind you, and the sound of a key turning. It sounds like you've been locked in. You have an unsettling feeling that this isn't actually a fire alarm. You'd better start looking for a way out. So you've already received the standard blueprint, which I believe you're including in the show notes.
Yes, yeah. For people listening at home, there's just a layout of how the rooms of this place are all interconnected. If you're playing at home, you can print that off and draw over it.
So we've been given just a basic blueprint of this place. There are 4 rooms, a parlor, a kitchen, a bedroom, and a bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And you are in a small parlor, perhaps 12 feet by 12 feet. You came in through the door on the south wall. The entire wall to your left is a parlor wall, a huge flat-screen TV.
Oh, no, I said I was going to draw, so I made him make this look like a big flat-screen TV. Please, you can continue. I just got to...
It is currently switched off. There are 3 more doors in the room, 1 in the middle of the north wall and 2 on the east wall. Assuming this house is based on the standard blueprint for a single person or couple, these should lead to the kitchen, the bedroom, and the bathroom. As for furnishings, there is a large couch facing toward the parlor wall.
Oh boy, couches, my drawing nemesis.
You draw an oval, you draw another oval that's away from it, and then you draw like a curved line between those ovals. And that's the back of the couch. Then you fill that out. And then you draw in the middle, draw like a couple of little pieces of toast. And those are the cushions of the couch. And then the back of the couch, give it like a little bit of, there you go. You get a nice couch.
You're doing a proper top-down, which I think makes it easier where
and then you draw 4 little dots on the cushion.
Oh, no. Too much now.
And you draw the little...
Yeah, now we don't know what it is. Now it's got a face.
I've ruined it.
In front of the couch is a coffee table. You're surprised to see a huge vase on the coffee table. It's filled with a large bunch of flowers. As if that wasn't unusual enough, you see a bookshelf crammed full with books on the eastern end of the north wall.
What?
My.
Criminals! Our character is going to be so disappointed when he finally reads that book and he realizes it's the secret.
Just above the bookshelf, a ventilation shaft lazily blows cool air into the room. Looking at it, you're reminded of the one at your home with the book hidden inside. Is this some kind of test? There's only one way to find out why Captain Brazier has brought you here. You'd better start exploring.
All right. I think we're good to go. Well, Dani, you have to make all the choices.
All right. So this probably doesn't feel like what I should be looking at first, but I want to go around and check these other doors into kitchen, bedroom, and bathroom to see, are these doors openable?
Sure. Which one do you want to start with?
Let's go kitchen first. North wall.
Okay, so this door must lead to the kitchen. It's locked. Beside the door is what appears to be a button and a small speaker. When you push the button, you hear, "Please state the password." After a couple seconds, you hear a buzz. You must need a specific word or phrase to unlock this door.
Love it.
Now, do we need to check the Lord of the Rings logic? And just say the password?
You can try.
Oh, we try that. I press the button, I say the password.
You haven't said more than a word or two, but the speaker buzzes at you.
Dang. All right, well, that didn't work. What are we doing next, Dani?
Let's try the other ones. Let's go for the bedroom door, or presumably bedroom door.
Sure, it's locked with a directional lock. You've seen one of these before. It will unlock with the correct sequence of directional input, left, right, up, and down. Could have any number of directions in the sequence.
And the remaining door that we haven't been through yet?
Yeah, presumably this door leads to the bathroom. It seems to be locked from the other side.
Ah.
Dang.
All right, well, it feels only fair, and only so that I can finally redeem myself a little bit from every other time that I haven't done it this season. How about the door that we came through that seems to have locked us in?
Grabbing the doorknob, you confirm what you suspected. You have been locked in. On the other side of the door, you hear a slow, probing sniff and an exhalation of steam. There is no doubt that the door is being guarded by a mechanical hound, one of the tools used to catch criminals. It seems like, in addition to unlocking the door, you'll need to find a way to fool the hound's olfactory senses, or it's likely it may end up hunting you. You also notice an obscure message on a sticky note on the door.
Ooh.
It says, "Hands before parts."
Hands before parts. What could that be?
No idea yet.
Well, the ball's still in your court.
I don't like this. This is
well,
frightening.
You shouldn't have said that you wanted the ball in your court. You were begging me. You said, "Bill, please, I need a ball in my court." Well, there it is.
All right, I would like to check out this couch. I'm not going to go towards those books for a long time.
Oh, that's what
I'd like
doing?
to go towards the couch. More specifically, I'm probably going to feel around underneath the cushions. But let's give it a look over first.
It's a standard couch, beige with large cushions and a few pillows. It looks comfortable enough, although it doesn't show any sign of use. You said you were going to look through the cushions?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You check the couch, you find a single coin.
What's currency like in this future?
How do you want it to be?
I don't know. I don't even know where Fahrenheit 451 is set.
Good point.
It's set in America somewhere.
All right. Then that is going to get the words $50 on it, because that weirds me out that some coins say that.
And nothing else with that couch in terms of searching. Again, you always got to check with a new person's rooms. Like, is there anything underneath the couch as well?
You do a thorough search of the couch and find nothing else of any interest.
Cool. Well, with that being said, this couch has already provided us financial reward. I think I'm going to sit on it and maybe lean forward and check out those flowers.
Sure. You're looking at the vase.
Mm-hmm.
It's filled with bright pink, orange, and blue flowers. Lilies, you think, though you're not certain. The vase itself is rather heavy. It's made of steel. Engraved near the base, you see the words Matthew 6:28. Is this an artist's signature or something?
Get out of here. That's a Bible passage.
You don't know that.
I know everything.
You can't possibly know that.
Good point. I've never read a book before. My name's John Beatty.
How do you draw lilies?
I don't even know how to read.
Is that a lily?
No, that's a tulip.
What? No. No, tulips are like this.
Yeah, that's exactly what you drew. Oh, okay, that's half a tulip. You've drawn half a tulip.
Look up lilies right now.
I will look up lilies.
Probably lilies that haven't opened yet.
Oh, I've found lots of images
Why?
of Evangeline Lily.
Why did that happen?
All right. They look like this. They're open. Although that looks exactly like what you drew.
Thank you.
But all these others don't. They all look like lilies.
All right. Was there any word on whether these lilies had bloomed yet?
Yeah, let's say they've bloomed.
Oh, okay, fine. I'll draw them a little differently then.
Lilies, for people playing along at home, look like pointy crocuses.
And sorry, those colors, pink, orange, and blue, was it?
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
And the vase itself is heavy and metal.
Steel.
It is. It's steel, so you can't see through it or anything like that.
Gotcha. And so it had those words on it. Any interesting patterns or anything?
No, nothing else of any unusualness.
Cool. Is there anything worth like peeking inside it?
Yeah, you can peek inside it. There's water and flower stems.
That's fair.
And how many keys?
12 keys.
Haha, so you gotta ask
They open every door. You broke the room.
You gotta ask the right questions.
Are you sure? Because very few of these locks that we found are keys.
There are no keys. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
All right. How's the coffee table looking? Anything exciting about it?
The surface of the coffee table is glass. Apart from the vase of flowers, the only thing on it is a remote control.
Oh, this makes my next request easier. I wanted to lift up the vase and have a look at the bottom. But now I don't need to. It's a glass coffee table. Can I get underneath the coffee table and look up at the bottom of the vase?
Sure, it looks like the bottom of a steel vase.
With how many hidden messages on it?
You don't have to indulge him.
Messages.
Just do what I do and move on to the next statement.
Okay, the next statement is, what would you like to do next?
I mean, it feels like for this room, it's just got to be TV, doesn't it?
Yeah, the big parlor wall.
Yeah, if someone's listening outside, we'll assuage their fears. We're a totally normal person who enjoys a good bit of TV.
All right.
This I did remember. This was one of the few scenes that I remember from the books.
Well, when someone's listening outside, you turn your TV on? And
no, the character trying to get people's attention, but they're just sort of watching the TV and not really engaging.
All right. Well, let's turn the TV on.
Judging by the fact that they have only one parlor wall, the person who lives here must either be rather poor or else rather uninterested in the shows that the source of modern entertainment offers. The wall is currently switched off. You know the only way to turn it on is with the remote control. And so...
Good for us.
You aim the remote at the parlor wall and press the on button, but nothing happens. You try it again, still nothing. You check the battery compartment, and that's the problem. The remote doesn't have any batteries.
Ah. How many does it need?
It needs 2 AA batteries.
Okay.
All right, so we need batteries for this remote.
Great.
Okay, let's check out the grate. That's what you're suggesting.
Ventilation shaft.
Yeah. You're right.
Let's go and do it.
I said it.
I mean, you were a bit terse. It's a bit rude to just say it like that, but yeah, okay, we can go check out the grate.
Yeah, it's blowing out air, although the flow of air seems to be obstructed by something. Maybe there's something behind the grate? You can't see anything, and the grate is screwed to the wall. You'd need a screwdriver to remove it.
All right. I mean, it feels like the only thing left to check out is the books.
Ugh, books. Ugh.
There are more books than you've ever seen in your life here. You're completely torn by the desire to burn every one of them, and by the desire to discover what's inside them. You haven't heard of most of the titles or authors, although you're sure they must have been commonly known at one time in your country's past.
I also don't know how far in the future the book is set. Is it specified?
Don't know.
When Bradbury wrote it, it was intended to be in the near future, and it in updates by different publishers or different years of publication, the years that are mentioned in it have been changed.
Oh, really?
Rude.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Rude.
Oh. All right. Well, it feels like the only thing we've got to go on is, man, I don't know. This Matthew artist guy. Is his name on any of these books?
I mean, sure.
No, there are no books by an author named Matthew.
Oh,
I mean, how much can
like
we use our knowledge to look for a Bible?
Nah, feels
you
like
can look for a Bible. The Bible is a particularly rare book these days. It doesn't surprise you that there isn't a copy of it here.
Mm.
Okay. Is there any, so, because you're right, now we sort of looked at everything.
Cool. All right.
You have looked at everything, that is correct.
And we're missing a screwdriver to get into the vent. We're missing batteries to get the TV on. The vase has coloured flowers. It's got a Bible verse inscribed on it. It's a heavy steel vase that doesn't seem to have anything in it or under it.
Mm-hmm.
The coffee table was a glass coffee table.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I don't know if there's anything else to do with that.
Well,
Just
might
interesting
be
that it's
fancy.
glass. The couch had a coin in it. Can we look closer at this coin, or is it just a coin? I suppose because we named it or designed it, it probably isn't anything to look closer at.
Yeah, it's just a standard coin, like maybe the size of a quarter. It's not too thick.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe
it's
the
not
size
too thick.
of a blade.
Can we use the coin as a makeshift screwdriver to open the vent? That's like a classic thing you do with
Yes.
It is?
Yes, the coin is a perfect substitute for a screwdriver.
Oh, what?
You're able to remove the grate with ease. Now you can find out what was blocking the airflow. It's a copy of the Bible.
Ah.
You know that this is one of the rarest books in existence. Almost all known copies of it have already been burned.
Man, I just clearly don't have the real world skills.
We flick through the Bible and then happen to see that there's a whole chapter called Matthew. What?
You do find a list
right?
of all the books contained in the Bible, and there is a book called Matthew. You find the 6th chapter, and you find the number 28. Immediately after the number 28, it says, "So why do you worry about clothing? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin." That last word is highlighted for some reason.
Oh, can we spin the flowers?
Well, it said that they don't spin.
Oh, good point. We don't spin the flowers. Shall we?
I guess, like, spin the whole vase with them in it, or just, like,
my
grab
first thought was
individual
grab
flowers and
the
go,
stem of each flower and go, woo, and spin around.
You're not sure what you're trying to do exactly, but you're pretty sure it involves spinning the vase. You set the vase on the table and give it a spin. As you do, it feels like something is unscrewing.
Ooh.
You pick up the vase and realize its base can be detached. Giving it a few more twists, you find a hidden compartment. Inside it, there is a pair of AA batteries.
Glasses. Damn.
I did draw my vase like it has a little bit of a base that could be separated. So that works
fun.
nicely.
That's a bowl, Dani. You've drawn a big bowl.
What's a vase?
It's a vase. It's a whole different thing. Okay, so we can turn the TV on.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, with the batteries in place, the remote works. The parlor wall springs to life. Loud, cheerful music blasts, and you see the title of the show come up on the screen, Dance of the White Clown. You're familiar with the White Clown. He's a rather popular character. 3 white clowns appear in the middle of the screen. They look at each other and grin. A tinny laugh track plays in the background as the central white clown pulls out a pair of machetes. You're not at all surprised by this. In fact, you're sure you've seen this segment before. As the clowns begin to dance, the central clown swings his machetes. First, he chops off the left arm of the clown on his left. Then he chops the right arm off the clown on his right.
Okay, alright.
After that, he chops off the right arm of the clown on his left. And then the left arm of the clown on his right.
Excellent.
Next, he chops off the head of the clown to his right, the legs of the clown on his left, the head of the clown on his left, and the legs of the clown on his right. After the other 2 clowns fall, he swings both machetes upwards and chops off his own head. Pretty gruesome, but that's entertainment.
It's a classic. You just don't understand it.
I don't know if my last... Because I didn't have time to draw this, so I was just writing them, and my last one just says, up own head. Okay, so clearly we got a bunch of directions here.
Yes, now how do you interpret, like, the left clow's left arm versus the right
Indeed.
clown's left arm?
Yeah. Like,
When you're doing directional stuff.
yeah, watching someone do this on a TV... Are we looking at our perspective or at his perspective?
Oh, I mean, that's true. But even I wasn't even thinking of that. I was more thinking of, like, if I have a directional lock, what is my difference in input to indicate the left arm of a left clown versus the left arm of a right clown?
Yeah.
Am I doing 2 inputs per clown?
Exactly.
Am I going,
we got to
like,
consider
left arm is like left, and then right arm is right. Am I doing 2 inputs?
It could be. Like, I wouldn't say no to that whatsoever. So it could be like left, right, left, right, up, right.
And then do you do
left,
limb or
up,
clown first?
Left. What?
Like, is the left
I
clown's
see.
right arm
Yeah.
right, or is it right, the right arm of the left clown, which is how it was
My
described
instinct
to us.
is to give it to us in the order that we were told.
I feel like
I'm now just looking and going, is that post-it note hands before parts? Is that relevant to this? Wait. No, that doesn't.
Maybe the left-hand clown's parts? Or it's which hand he used. So he used his left hand to cut off the right arm of a clown.
Oh, God.
So I think hands before parts might be... No. I think hands before parts means you do the clown and then you do which part of the clown.
Okay, and then we got to say, do we want it from our perspective or his perspective?
I don't think we need to complicate that. I think if it said his left, it's like it's his left hand. It's his left, because he has a machete in each hand. He wasn't using one machete to murder two clowns. He had a left-hand machete and a right-hand machete. So I think we go which-handed machete and then which part of the clown.
Okay. So
by my understanding, that means that the order would be, if we're going to go and put this order into the directional lock on the bedroom door. Yes.
Yep.
My understanding would be it is left for the left clown left arm, then right clown right arm, left clown right arm, right clown left arm, right up right clown's head, left down left clown legs, left up left clown head, right down, and then probably finish with up for his own head. No. Unless
it takes you a few tries to enter the combination correctly. These direction locks are tricky. At last, you input the sequence correctly, and the door to the bedroom swings open.
Nice. I suddenly worried that
you got it perfect.
Instead of up at the end, I had to do like left and right and up because he used both of his hands to cut his own head off. Yeah, cool.
Oof. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Woo. Okay, great.
So you want to head into the bedroom?
Let's do that.
Good catch on hands before parts. I didn't even notice that was going to be connected.
Oh, I'm just glad. I've got so many things I can tick now. We just did so many things.
Right. We did the coin. We did the lilies. We did the verse. We used the vase. We did the batteries. We did the dance of the white clown. We did the screwdriver. We got the Bible. Brilliant.
Fantastic. All right, bedroom it up.
Satisfying. You're in the southwest corner of the bedroom. There's a single door on the south wall which should lead to the bathroom. There's also a closet in the southeast corner of the room. In the northwest corner, there's a bed. Beside the bed, there is a nightstand. On the west wall near the bed, you notice a photo collage. Along the opposite wall is a dresser. On top of the dresser is a strange statue. Between the dresser and the closet is a small side table on which a chessboard is set up. You don't see any windows or any other way out of this room. You'd better continue your search.
All right, straight for that bathroom door.
Oh, okay.
Based on the layout of the house, this southern door should lead to the bathroom. It's held shut by a standard combination lock with numbers 0 through 39.
Now, standard combination lock, that's one of the ones that it's just a circle of numbers that you rotate clockwise, anti-clockwise. Fantastic. I'm glad this is a virtual room. I can't use those in real life.
All right, well, Dani, what are you going to look at first? There's a lot of stuff to look at. We've got to hurry up.
The back of the door that we came through.
Okay.
I'm not missing any doors.
Yeah, I will tell you now that none of the other doors have anything once you've opened them.
Okay. I've been burned before.
All right, what are we looking at?
I'm intrigued by this chessboard.
Let's do it.
Sure, there's a chessboard set up on the table, but the layout doesn't look correct to you. You notice a single piece shaped like a horse. The knight, you think. You flash back to a memory from your childhood. You are sitting on your grandfather's lap, and he is explaining how the piece moves. Do you know how a chess knight moves?
Yes.
Like a little elf.
Yes.
At this point in your memory, your father storms in. Chess, he says. Chess is a thinking man's game. No son of mine will play chess. He knocks the chessboard to the floor. This is the last time you remember seeing your great-grandfather. And you may now open the chess link that I sent to you earlier.
Cool. All right, lovely. For everybody at home, you'll have access to this image. You can see it in the show notes. But Dani, do you want to try and describe this big old chessboard?
Yeah, okay. So there are indeed pieces all around. Now, most of them are nondescript looking pieces, the kinds where I would sort of assume that they must all be pawns.
Yeah, it's a bunch of black and white pawns.
This
on the board.
one horse at the bottom is the... Oh, no, there's... Wait, sorry, is that the mouse? Yeah, that was the mouse. There was one that looked like a bishop, but you had the mouse on it. So
oh, you're right. I get a little bishop.
Yeah, okay, so we've got this knight down the bottom. There's also a bunch of letters and possibly definitely numbers.
Yep.
All around the place, scattered, just interspersed between the pieces. Like there's obviously a lot of squares on a chessboard, so I don't want to say all of them.
For example, if you do just the first row of the chessboard, it says the 8 squares are S, pawn. A white pawn, E, nothing, a 7, another white pawn, an A, and an N. So you can see that these things are intermingled and interspersed.
There's also one that has just a dash.
There is one that is just a little hyphen.
I wonder what that's going to mean.
Now, I have a plan of what I would want to do with this board.
Yep.
Which is we have one piece that is separate, different from the others, which is that there's a single piece that is the knight, a black knight. And we know how a knight moves. That flashback was designed to teach us how a knight moves if we didn't know.
Yeah.
And the knight, if you look at where the knight is right now, it's in the bottom left. And a knight can move, goes 2 squares one way and 1 square in
and based on the occupation of the other squares, there is only one that this knight could move to.
There is only one way. It can't go 2 right and up because it'll hit a black pawn. It can't go 2 up and right. It would hit a black pawn. But anywhere else it runs out of space. But if it goes 2 up and left, it lands on a J. I wonder if we're going to need to knight move around the board to try and spell something out.
It could be that. I'm happy to try.
So maybe we should start mapping the options that the horse can take. So obviously it has to start with J, right? From J, it can either go
CL or U.
CL or U. Now, if we're trying to spell a word, maybe jump to U.
Try
because it's the only thing that would follow on from a U.
Let's give that
from the U, it can go to A, U, L. Oh my God, there's too many. Or an I.
A blank.
There are so many options.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe,
that one's tricky.
Or it can even take this white pawn. It couldn't take a black pawn, but it can take a white pawn.
I didn't account for that.
There are all options available to it, including going back to J. So maybe
that's a few choices
we do need some more information about how to do this.
Maybe.
Or maybe
why don't you try taking the pawn just to see what happens?
What?
How do we try taking the pawn? What happens if we try and take that white pawn?
Yeah, if you try picking up a pawn from the board, it's like it's glued in place. It can't be moved.
Okay. Does this feel like it's true for the other pawns that are all there?
Yeah, you test on some of the other pawns. None of them can be moved.
Our horsey can move all over the place?
Yes, your horse can move freely.
Cool. So that at least matches up with what we're wanting to do.
Okay, so we've got a lot of options right now still for letters. Like, my instinct would probably be the L. That feels like it's the one that comes most naturally after a U. Should we try to follow that, or would you rather look at other stuff, get a more full picture of the room, and then come back and do this?
Maybe let's come back. Maybe we'll get something that hints it. And if not, then we'll work it out. But it's good to know whether or not we can just do it. So let's keep looking.
So far, nothing is telling me that this is not doable, but
maybe we'll get something that helps doing it or gives us some direction.
Yeah, who knows? Or just...
Or we'll have an idea of what we want to spell.
Exactly.
We're spelling out juicy
exactly. Because all we've got so far as an obstacle is this one combination lock. The other stuff in the room is just free to us so far. It'd be good to know what our obstacles are. Okay, let's check out the wardrobe.
The closet?
Yes, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Sorry, I was just making sure that I was on the same page in terms of words. The wardrobe or closet is stuffed full of clothes of all sizes, colors, and styles. You notice 9 empty hangers off to one side, labeled numbers 1 through 9.
So we have the hangers, which are 1 to 9, 9 hangers labeled 1 to 9, and the rest is just there's clothes all throughout as well.
Yeah, it's stuffed full of clothes. Men's, women's, all kinds of different sizes and colors. Pretty much anything you could look for.
Yeah, sounds like too much for pocket rifling and stuff
maybe we
like
need to know what we're looking for and come back is the feeling.
The Bible said something about clothes, didn't it? It said, don't have clothes.
Yeah, that's what the Bible says. It said be naked all the time.
I think it did.
Observe the lilies of the valley. They don't wear any clothes.
Yeah, the line right before that. Wasn't it about...
Cast off your clothes and observe the lilies.
Was that not what it was?
If you go back and reread it, it says, so why do you worry about clothing? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow. They neither toil nor spin.
Exactly.
All right, we spin all the clothes.
That sounded a little more like don't make clothes, but... All right. Cool, good to know. Got some coat hangers. That'll be fun.
So we check out the chest of drawers?
So we may need to move some of the clothes that we need onto these specific coat hangers, you reckon?
Yeah,
when we know what we're looking for?
We'll find 9 individual clothing things.
Okay, over to the dresser. Weird statue first, for sure.
Okay, sure. We'll look at the weird
I need
statue.
to draw a weird statue.
The dresser is pretty ordinary looking. It's wooden with 3 drawers. On top is a statuette. It's about a foot tall and is cast in bronze. It appears to be a young boy with feathery wings, an angel, perhaps. He appears not to be flying, but falling, as the wings are spread beneath him and his legs are above the rest of his body. If you look closely at the wings, you see the letters O-V-I-D etched into the largest feather.
Oh, he's got COVID.
Oh dear, oh no.
All right, so we have some kind of Icarian figure with Ovid written on one of his. Is there? If we go back to the bookshelf in the previous room, is there a book by Ovid?
Yes, there is. There's a book on the shelf by Ovid. It's called The Metamorphoses. You flip through the book, not sure what you're looking for. After a while, you know you've found what you need, and you can open the handout Ovid.
Let's do it.
And Bill, do you want to describe what you see this time?
So, again, for people at you can look at this image yourself in the show notes. We're looking at a picture from within this book of Ovid's Metamorphoses, and it is a picture titled The Lament for Icarus by Herbert Draper. Before I describe the picture, at the top it's marked OV and then blacked. The ID has been blacked out. And it's also page 450. Now, what we're looking at is a beautiful picture of Icarus. He is collapsed on the ground. He's got giant wings that are strapped to his arms. For people who don't know the story of Icarus, he tried to fly too close to the sun. His wax wings melted. He fell. Poor guy.
They're in pretty good condition.
They're pretty good.
Picture.
It looks like he just fell because those wings look perfect.
This looks like, a fancy, real, oil on canvas work of art that we're talking
And
here.
surrounding the collapsed Icarus, there are 3 women, 2 behind him, 1 below him, all nude. One has a harp, and one has, is that like a little crown of thorns? That's wild.
Yeah, something like that.
And so there you go. And Icarus is all dead. Poor Icarus.
He does not look very alive.
Yeah, that's sad.
And yes, down the bottom, it says The Lament for Icarus by Herbert Draper, cementing the idea that it feels very real.
Unless Jesse is a great artist.
I am not. I did credit the image in my image credits in my full room write-up.
There's some very like Christian Christ-like imagery
for
Icarus. The clothes he's wearing and the way he's positioned.
For sure. It's interesting that we've got this style.
Like the feet together, the arms out in the loincloth with the red on it, like the
blood
blood from the
this
spear.
Art style was like 100 to 200 years earlier?
Well, I think it's a deliberate
callback to it. That's fair.
And yeah,
that's something.
Very Christ-like imagery for
that
Icarus.
water looks bloody good.
And maybe that's why she has a crown of thorns as well. Well, there you go.
All right, cool.
Icarus is dead.
So the most suspicious thing about this is the fact that half of Ovid's name has been blacked out.
Yeah, so we take out the I and the D from everything we ever see for the rest of our lives.
Makes sense. All right, I don't get too much more from that.
I don't have an action coming out of this.
No, should we start pouring through drawers?
Yeah, open up the drawers of the dresser.
The dresser drawers?
Yes.
Yeah, they're mostly filled with socks and underwear. Tucked among the socks, however, you find a seashell radio.
You mean a RAO?
What?
It's just RAO. You're gonna get rid of the D and the
Oh,
R.
I see. All right. Now, seashell radios, I did not apparently read any extracts about them from when I was going through the book.
A seashell radio is essentially like an in-ear headphone, like an AirPod.
Yeah, that was pretty much what I was
you
picturing.
could listen to the radio. Yeah, absolutely.
Shall we put it on? Listen
All right,
to what's going on?
Stick it in our shared ears. Yeah. And see if it's working.
It crackles a little bit, emits a weak squeal, and dies. It seems the battery is dead.
Rude.
Does it take AA batteries?
It does not. It needs like one of those little like lithium type batteries, like one of the small, you could fit it on your pinky finger batteries.
Little button battery.
Right. Okay.
Will a coin do the job?
A little coin.
The coin is way too big. You said it was $50.
That's true. Okay. What next? Which one do you want to look at? We got a lot of stuff if we just keep going.
Yeah.
Should we just keep walking in a lefterly direction to the
You're making all the
nightstand?
decisions.
To the nightstand. It's a small wooden nightstand with a single drawer. There's a magazine on top of it, or what passes for a magazine these days. It's a single page. And you may now open the link called Digest, Digest, Digest.
Yes, Dani, if you can give it a description again for people at home. This is available in the show notes.
It's like an infographic about comparing two people.
At the top it says political candidate comparison.
Yeah.
So
it seems to be choosing two little cartoons and we are fighting over which one's going to be president.
How about this, Dani?
Yeah.
You play Winston Noble and Hubert Hogue. You come up with voices for them, and I'll ask you these questions. Okay.
Sure. This sounds like it's going to go great.
Who's going to be our next president? Winston Noble. Well, what political party are you from?
Oh, I'm for the ins.
And what about you, Hubert Hogue?
I'd prefer the outs.
And now in a way that people can hear and understand.
Out. All right, Winston Noble, ins. Hubert Hogue, outs.
Okay, the next one doesn't really work as a question. So, appearance-wise?
I am extremely handsome. I wouldn't say so. I think I'm rather more homely.
So, yes, Winston is handsome and Hubert is homely.
You invited this. I don't know why.
I'll keep going. And just for the people at home who can't see you, who are listening in on their seashell radios, what height are you?
I am an impressive 1.9 meters tall. 1.90 to be specific, so you know I'm rounding correctly.
Thank you for the significant figures. And what about you, Hubert?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with 1.63, and it's better that way.
All right, so Hubert is 1.63 and Winston is 1.9.
That's a
for
little
people,
smaller
for Americans
than me.
listening at home, what's that? 1.9 is like 6'4".
Yeah, it's about that.
It's quite tall. And
he's tall and Hogue is not.
And 1.63 would be
5'4",
5'4", something like that.
Something like that. Okay. I weigh 198 pounds.
Please,
I weigh 224 pounds.
Wait until the question is asked of you.
Loud.
This is the debate. We must have order here.
No,
Yes.
I think by the last one I got it quite right. The last one is saying what type of speech do they have.
You actually got that phenomenal.
I nailed it.
Did you look at that beforehand?
I did not.
Winston Noble is loud and Hubert Hogue is mumbling. Winston is stylish and Hubert is shabby. And Winston is 198 pounds and Hubert is 224 pounds. This feels like political propaganda to me.
I get the feeling that someone likes Winston Noble.
Yeah. I think this paper has a bias.
That said, looking at the little cartoon pictures that we've got of them, Hubert Hogue has way cooler hobbies.
I mean, looking at those cartoon pictures we have of them, I'm Hubert Hogue.
I mean...
That's a picture of me. So,
Dani, it's in this society, being outside is not acceptable. You would not want to be seen in a park. Only weird people with weird ideas who read books hang out in parks.
That's true. I am surprised it didn't even mention the fact that he's got glasses.
Yeah, they don't want to paint him.
Feels like there should be some little arrows pointing to them. All right. So, yeah, we've got this interesting comparison going on here. Very prettily put together. That looks really cool. Again, anything that you can garner from it for immediately important?
No, I don't have an action from this. It might be something to reference for some other action we're doing, but I don't know what to do. Unless we're trying to make his outfit, but I don't think so. There's nothing on the back of this, I'm assuming. It's just this single page.
Single page.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe for now we just keep this in mind.
I think we just got to keep it in mind.
All right. There was a single drawer to this nightstand, did you say?
Oh, yes. Was there anything in the nightstand?
It's crammed full of batteries of all shapes and sizes. Well, except AA batteries.
Is there a little battery for the seashell radio?
You have to dig a bit, but you find one eventually.
Sweet.
All right, let's put it in and give it a listen.
Sure, the sound is clear this time. Noble looks like he's about 10 times taller than Hogue.
Idiot, he's not. He's only 27 centimeters taller. Idiot.
Yeah, and Hogue is kind of fat, isn't he? I wonder how many stone he weighs.
Oh no, I don't know how many pounds to stone.
Oh boy.
Noble's appearance and fashion are also superior. Noble will win for sure. Well, that's it for a political minute. Brought to you by Denham's Dentifrice. Denham's, spelled D-E-N-H-A-M-S. Denham's Dandy Dental Detergent. Denham's Dentifrice.
Sorry, that was D-E-N-H...
E-M-S. Denham's.
Denham.
D-E-N-H-A-M-S.
Oh, Denham's.
Denham's, even better. So that specifically mentioned him looking about 10 times taller. Asked about how many stone Hogue weighed. Mentioned their fashion choices. And that was from Denham's.
Yeah. Again, information, but I don't have an action to take.
No, don't know where to put this yet.
And we're taking way too long, so we got to keep going.
What?
We're like an hour in.
What?
Somehow.
Let's jump on the bed.
Yep, let's look at the bed.
Are you actually jumping on the bed or just looking at it?
No, there might be something fancy hidden in it.
The bed seems pretty ordinary and is covered in a colorful quilt. There's also a teddy bear resting neatly on the pillows, and you can now open the quilt handout.
All right.
Is there a nanny cam hidden in this bear?
Yes. It is watching your every move and sending it to Big Brother.
Yep.
Okay, so this quilt, which you can see at home yourself if you'd like to follow along.
Oh, okay.
Is a 9-image quilt. It's 9 squares all quilted together. And we can describe all of them from the top left. In fact, why don't I'll do the top row, you do the next row, I'll do the bottom row. We'll just swap off. So the top row, going across, has a yellow duck, or bird, I guess, but I'm going to say a little duck in profile, a duckling in profile, or just some kind of yellow bird. Then it has a purple book, and then a blue spirally circle, maybe like a marble or something.
Then the second row under that, we've got a green leaf, a red heart, and a brown teddy. And
then below that, there is a black... Do you want to call that like a pawn, like a chess piece?
It could be. Definitely just a chess piece.
I think like a black pawn. An orange coconut.
I was going bowling ball,
or
but
bowling
fair.
ball. And then a purple flower, which could match... or a pink flower.
Yeah, I'd go pink.
Pink.
Since we've
It
already used purple.
probably matches the pink flower that we saw in the other room.
Yeah, we've definitely seen some of this stuff before.
Yeah, we've seen a teddy bear on the bed. We've seen a pink flower in the vase in the parlor. We've seen the black
chess pieces.
chess piece on the chess board. So maybe there's some order or connection that we draw between these things.
If we
probably seen a purple book in the
I
purple
was
book.
going to say, checking out all of the books that we've seen so far, does any one of them stand out as notably purple?
Yeah, when you check the bookshelf for purple books, you search and are certain that there are exactly 4 books with purple covers.
Oh, it's a number. Okay. All right, so I'll draw a little grid on my notes, and we know that the top middle is 4. Looking at the bed, there's just a single teddy bear, isn't there?
Yes, that's right.
And we haven't seen any
with
teddy
a
bears
nanny
anywhere
cam.
else. So let's call that 1.
Right.
If I go back to the chessboard, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 black pawns. So the bottom left is
Oops, put that in the wrong place.
Is a black pawn.
All right. How about pink flowers? Can we go back and see how many pink ones there are?
Do you just want pink? There are 5 pink flowers.
Okay.
Okay, so we're still missing green leaves, red hearts, orange coconuts, yellow birds,
And
blue
blue spirals.
I don't know what any of those are. I don't think we've seen anything like that so far. Okay.
Maybe. We'll
Is
get
there
to 'em.
anything with the bed if we look under the pillow or under the bed? Or
more thorough bed search.
if we do a thorough bed search, do we find anything else?
You can bounce on the bed a little bit, but you don't find anything.
Obviously.
Cool. And is this teddy bear anything?
No, just a teddy bear. It may or may not have a nanny cam.
Great. We smash it.
All right, so last thing in here, this photo collage.
Let's have a look at the photo collage.
It's one of those frames that contains multiple slots for pictures of various sizes. In the top left, there is a photo of 3 boys, similar in age. The photo in the center shows a young woman in profile. To the right of her is a picture of an elderly gentleman. On the bottom left is a snapshot of a young couple. On the bottom right, there is a photo of a baby girl. At the bottom of the frame is a brass plaque that reads, "Photos of my loved ones."
All right, these are loved ones. I reckon they're going to go with the heart.
Oh, so you think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 loved ones?
That makes sense to me.
Done. So the middle part of that grid is an 8. Because that's 3 boys, 1 woman, 1 old man, 2 people in a couple, and a baby girl. All right. Is there anything else to look at in this room? What's below? I think that's everything.
I think we looked at everything.
Well, where?
You have looked at everything. Yes, that's correct.
Should we go back to the chessboard?
Yeah, let's go. Maybe we have to go back to the chessboard. I also wonder if the clothing thing would have something to do with the presidential debate.
It could be. I was wondering if one of those quilt pictographic clues is based on that information somehow.
Is the top right meant to be a stone?
Oh,
You will know what the top right is meant to be when you
Great.
get to the appropriate room.
that would be tough but impossible.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can't solve that one yet.
Well, let's check out this chessboard then.
Yeah, let's see if we can take a look. Okay, so we made it as far as U, and then we found some other ones. I'm going to follow an L track because I think going down left to an L feels like it makes most sense to me.
Sure.
And then the choices Either go back to that U, go to a V, or go to an I. I like I.
And I'll tell you, you'll never go back to the same space twice.
Fair enough.
I was probably
I'm liking this because now there's an option to go for a U and an option to go for an S.
Oh, Julius.
That feels like it spelled something.
Okay, but you can't really move on from... Oh, you can go to a space.
Yeah.
And then to the C.
Then to the A.
A.
E.
E. No, this E.
Yes, and then that S.
A. R. So you get to Julius Caesar.
Great.
Do we keep going? There's another space.
Then yep, maybe let's go to the space. Then...
Oh, it's going to like give us a reference to the book.
I think the only letter that we can get to from that space... Oh, no, the A or the I.
We have to keep better track of what we've used, I think.
That's probably smart. But we haven't been to this bottom corner at all yet.
No, not really. So, Julius Caesar, blank.
Act.
Oh, yeah, A, C,
What's the Caesar
T.
thing called? What did he write? Oh, and then there's the... We can go to the hyphen.
Would you want a hyphen from act?
Yeah, why not?
All right,
Act.
7. There's not 7 acts. That's crazy. But it's not going to
You
be
probably need a space after the word act.
That makes sense. There is a space. Oh, yeah.
Act.
That makes sense. Act. I. Damn it, where's my book of Shakespeare?
Maybe that's just Act 1.
It could be. Oh, no, there's IV. There's a V.
All right, Act 4.
Okay. Space again.
Space.
And then maybe we can spell out... can we spell out scene with this? I think
S C E N E.
Okay.
Scene. Space.
Oh, yeah.
I.
Have we used that I?
You use that I?
No, I don't know.
Good.
I don't... Oh.
Okay, Act...
Yeah, you should use 3 eyes there.
All right,
Good.
Scene 3.
What comes after scenes? Oh,
Space.
should we go to the full-on space?
L
Line, obviously.
N-E.
Space? Is there a space you can get to from there?
Lines.
Oh, lines.
Lines.
That makes sense. Oh my god. We
Nice.
really should. This one would have been cool to draw out. We got to try drawing this one out.
Yeah, because now I'm
Okay, lines.
losing track of which ones we've used or not.
No,
Lines.
that's okay.
Blank. 7.
T.
T. 2.
2.
70.
2.
2. 70 to 72. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have just run this.
That.
We have been running this night all along the board, hitting letters in order to try and spell these things out, and avoiding stepping on new things, avoiding stepping on pawns, and trying to just follow along. And that is what we've spelled. Julius Caesar, Act 4,
What?
Scene...
Was it 4?
Yeah, IV.
Oh, sorry.
Act 4, Scene 3, lines 70 to 72. Dani has taken out our copy of the complete works of William Shakespeare.
I like Julius Caesar. We're going to see Julius Caesar in a month.
That's amazing. Yeah, in the room you find a copy of the book called Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare.
Well,
the structure of the text reminds you of the scripts you can get to follow along the shows of the parlor walls. It takes you a few minutes to find the act indicated by the chessboard, but eventually you get there.
Now wait.
The words seem to be spoken by a character named Brutus.
Now hold on. Dani, do you have them? What do they say?
Okay, so just be clear. Act 4, Scene 3.
Lines 70 to 72.
Is it the one that starts with "for certain sums of gold"?
Oh, that's a different line than I have.
Yeah,
Mine
fair
is,
enough.
There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats.
That's our
For I am
66 in
armed-
this book.
Okay, do you wanna read it?
Sure. There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats, for I am armed so strong in honesty that they pass by me as the idle wind, which I respect not. I don't know how many lines I've read.
That's there. You have no idea what that could mean. Books really are as confusing as your grandfather used to say.
How does that get us a password into the kitchen?
I forgot that we need that. It did have the word pass in it. It's so close.
Man, I have no idea what to do with that. We solved a big puzzle.
You did solve a big puzzle. You may not be ready to use the information from it yet.
Well, then what else can we do right now?
Oh, man. Okay. We have a lot of stuff going on.
We haven't done anything with the clothes in the wardrobe.
No,
there was nothing else in the dresser to deal with. We haven't really done anything based on that Ovid.
The stuff that we heard on the radio, maybe, and the political poster thing.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I want to know what to do with that.
I don't know how to deal with that. So, hold on.
Also, based on the fact that spelling of denims was important, is that an anagram or something?
No, you know what?
No.
So, the first thing was Winston seems to be 10 times taller than Hubert.
Yep.
Which means the first number I think is probably we do their 10 times their height. And the only one that makes sense for is like Winston might be 19.
Well,
because he's currently 1.9. 10 times that'd be 19, and that's a number.
That
so
is
maybe
a
the first thing is 19 for Winston.
Could be.
Now, the next one is Hogue looks heavy. How many stone do you think he weighs? Now, I don't know if we have any way of knowing that. Is there in universe, does our character just know what 224 pounds is in stone, or are we missing something that might help us solve
You can check the bookshelf.
Yeah, that was my next
weights
question.
And measures, a book about weights and measures.
Yeah, you find an old maths textbook. You're able to find a chapter on unit conversions. 1 stone is equal to 14 pounds.
Okay. So if 1 stone is equal to 14 pounds, what's 224 pounds? Do some maths, Dani. Gosh. All right, great. 16.
Wait, did I say that right? What was it? I wasn't paying.
14 pounds is 1 stone.
Okay, so let me just.
So 224. I
that.
feel like 16 stone is huge. I can't.
224 divided by 14.
I also have 2 calculators here.
Once, and then into 84 6 times 16.
All right, 16 stone. So we got 19, 16. Can we listen to that radio again? What exactly was it saying?
Yeah, I'll jump to the part right after how many stone he weighs. The next thing it said was, Noble's appearance and fashion are also superior.
Appearance and fashion. Those are 2 separate categories on here.
Yes, are also superior. I mean, I can't put handsome and stylish into a combination lock.
No, that's interesting. Oh, what are we going to do with that?
And that's it, right? There's no more. And then it just says this is from Denims?
Yeah. And the Denims is just flavor. It's an advertisement from the story, yeah.
Lovely. So...
Red herring.
19, I'm happy with. 16, I'm happy with. But then I don't know how handsome and stylish are each.
Yeah, how are we going to do this?
A number. They are similar. One thing I'm noticing, I don't know if it means anything, is that each of the words for the appearance and the fashion are somewhat similar.
What do you mean?
It's not like handsome and ugly. It's handsome and homely. It's not stylish and like, poorly dressed. It's stylish and shabby. They have they're alliterative. I don't know if there's. I'm just talking our way through a puzzle in case this sparks anything that is actually true, rather than it being notable by itself. Handsome and homely, stylish and shabby. Handsome and stylish are superior. They are better. They're higher than. Is it how many more letters they are? That doesn't seem like it's been really clued if that's it.
Sometimes the simplest answer is the best answer.
Okay. Well, then we...
How many letters do we have for those?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 versus
and
1,
7,
2, 3,
so it could
4.
be a 15 potentially.
It could be if we're just counting the letters.
It did say appearance and fashion. That does sound like plussing to me.
Well,
Dani is a maths tutor.
Okay, we can just do the number of letters.
Okay.
So 15.
That would be 15. Okay, now, I don't know how to do these locks.
No, nobody does. You go right to one.
That's okay. John Beatty does know how. So you're entering the combination 19, 16, 15?
Let's do that.
You enter the combination carefully and the lock opens. As expected, you've opened the door to the bathroom.
Okay. What is in this bathroom?
The bathroom is very small. It occupies the southeast corner of the house. In addition to the door you came through, there's a door on the west wall that leads back to the parlor. The bathroom is furnished the way you'd expect a bathroom to be. There's a toilet on the east wall. North of the toilet is a sink. Above the sink is a mirror. A bathtub occupies the south wall.
Clawfoot or normal?
It is clawfoot.
Yes.
And near the tub along the west wall is a hamper for dirty clothing. And that's everything in this room.
Okay, let's go quick. We gotta go fast, Dani.
All right, check that toilet cistern.
There's nothing in the toilet cistern, but the toilet seems ordinary enough. The water is a dark blue color. It seems functional, too. When you give it a flush, you notice that it flushes for an unusually long time.
Long toilet. Is that a swirl? Is that a blue swirl?
Oh, is that the blue swirl? Does it look like a blue swirl?
It does.
How many seconds does it go?
Yeah. You feel like the toilet will never stop flushing. You're able to count to 9 Mississippi before it finally stops. Or do y'all count to 9 Piccadilly? Like, my friends and I Googled this in our last playtest.
I've never Mississippi'd.
I feel like it's not like that would still be a thing that we could get taught. Like, I feel like Mississippi's definitely a thing from my childhood.
I think as a child, I literally just slowly said the word second. It's just about learning a rhythm. I think as a kid, I was just always, and still now, go like 1 second, 2 seconds.
Oh, that's
3
wild.
seconds, rather than 1 Mississippi or something like that.
I think I got Mississippi'd. That
seems wild to me. You don't even know what Mississippi is as a kid.
Well, you know what? I did go to America when I was like 4 or 5, so maybe my parents started teaching me it right then.
Quick, you gotta learn Mississippi. Some people do 1/1000 is a
that's
common.
true.
1/1000, 2 1,000, 3
Oh,
1,000.
that's also familiar.
That's a very familiar one. I didn't 1/1000, but 1/1000, 2 1,000 was a big thing as a kid as well.
Man. What was your
Whatever counting
strategy,
system
people
you
at home?
used.
1 Carolina, North Carolina, South Carolina, 4 Carolina. I think that's how you do it.
In any case, you got to 9.
Excellent. We got a swirly toilet. All right. Shall we check out the hamper? We know that clothes have been a thing.
Yes.
Yep, the clothes hamper is made of wicker and it has a lid. The lid is latched shut, but the latch is all rusted. You aren't able to open it.
Oh.
Okay.
Does it feel like, is this sort of pick-upable? Just like enough to feel if there's stuff inside it?
Yeah, there's stuff inside it.
And so it's rusted shut? Is that the issue?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Cool. All right.
Let's keep looking around.
Bathtub.
Yeah, what's up with this bathtub?
It's an ordinary white bathtub, the old-fashioned kind with claw feet. Near the tub, you see a small bucket of toys, tugboats, rubber ducks, things of that nature.
How many rubber ducks?
3 rubber ducks!
All right.
Lovely.
And a bunch of other toys, too.
Who cares?
Are there any teddy
golden
bears?
coconuts?
There are no coconuts.
The toilet we've checked out, and we got some info from it. Let's check out the sink. And then see if the mirror is a cabinet.
There's nothing special about the sink. The water runs normally, and there's a small cake of soap and a hand towel nearby. The mirror over the sink seems ordinary. Your reflection appears a little harrowed. You notice that this is one of those mirrors that houses a medicine chest behind it.
That was my next
The
question.
medicine chest is locked, though. There is a hole for a small key.
We haven't found a small key, have we?
We found 12 earlier.
Oh, yeah, we found those 12 keys. How many of those for?
None of them.
Damn.
And I know that you said that after we've walked through a door, there won't be any use for them. But what about the one that was locked from the inside? The one that leads out to the parlor?
It leads back to the parlor, and you can see now why it wouldn't open earlier. It's deadbolted shut. You can release the deadbolt, and the door opens easily. When you do, a small folded piece of paper that had been wedged between the door frame and the door flutters to the ground.
Ooh.
You open it and find a handwritten note. It says, "Password hint, the Knight's Defense."
Cool. Knight with a K?
Yes, that's right.
Well, we did get some stuff that we were doing with the knight that we haven't used yet.
Did we? What was that?
The password that the Julius Caesar quote that we ended up getting.
Oh, you're right.
There is no terror, Cassius, in your threats, for I am armed so strong in honesty that they pass me by as the idle wind which I respect not.
Do we just say the word honesty? Can we try the word honesty as a password?
Yeah, when you try the word honesty as a password, a chime rings and you hear a click. The door to the kitchen is now unlocked.
All right, let's get into this kitchen.
Okay.
This is the last room. The only door here is the one you came through. The kitchen floor is black and white tile. On the north wall, straight ahead of the door, is an oven. To the right of the oven is a long countertop. Left of the oven is a liquor cabinet.
I see they keep their brandy in the kitchen. That's a reference for all our Patreon fans.
Nice.
Liquor cabinet.
There's a refrigerator on the east wall. In the southeast corner of the kitchen, there's a table. And along the west wall, you see a microwave. You're not sure how anything in here will help you escape this house, but you're certain you must be getting close.
Yeah, let's have a look around. I want to... Oh, no, wait. I won't make a decision here, Dani. It's your job. What are we looking at?
I wanted to quickly look at the quilt again and see which shapes we're missing. Because we're still missing 2.
We are missing...
A green...
A green leaf.
We called it a leaf. It still looks like a leaf.
And
the bowling ball.
It's probably
the golden
an orange,
coconut.
right? It's probably just like an orange.
Would also make sense. I'm kind of growing on it being a golden coconut.
Or it's a golden coconut.
We've been playing a lot of Stardew.
All right, let's have a look then, shall we?
Yep, okay. Table first.
The table is a simple wooden table with 2 seats. The only thing on the table are 2 rather green and leafy potted plants.
And how many leaves do they have?
More than you can count,
Oh,
but there are 2 plants.
All right, 2. Fine. Cool. All right, well, that table's done.
Lovely.
Let's have a look. I want to have a look at something.
Uh-huh.
Can we look at the microwave and open it up and see if there's anything inside?
Yeah, there's nothing unusual about it. It's an ordinary microwave, but there is a microwave-safe bowl inside.
And how many coconuts are in the bowl?
There are no coconuts.
Well, what's even the point? All right, we have a microwave-safe bowl. You know, those words.
Yep, cool. We can microwave something if we want to.
Yes.
That's good to know.
All right, what are we looking at next, Dani?
And assume if we take out that bowl, anything exciting there?
No.
Cool. All right, should we just keep circling around the room? Liquor cabinet?
Well, I don't want to lick a cabinet. That's weird.
It's full of bottles of all different kinds of alcohol. If you're looking for something specific, let me know.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, let's open up that oven.
Yeah. Let's have a look at the oven.
Find the oven-safe bowl.
It's an ordinary oven. There's a dial to set the temperature. The temperatures are in degrees Fahrenheit, and they range from 100 degrees to 500 degrees. There are also dials for stovetop burners and a cookie sheet and a pot holder on top of the stove.
That's a lot of things. Now, my first instinct is to set the oven to 451, but maybe we just gotta burn something later.
Yeah, set it to 451. Why not? Just for the fun of it.
The oven dials are in increments of 25 degrees, so you can't really do 451.
Rude.
All right. Bench. The bench.
Yeah, let's go.
You got the bench.
Yeah, there's nothing too unusual about the long wooden countertop. It has the normal kinds of things you might expect to see there. A spice rack, a toaster, a fruit bowl. There's also a recipe book, open to a rather unusual recipe. A concoction to mask one's smell.
Ooh, excellent.
Ooh, do we know, as people who live in this world, that robot dogs operate on smell?
Yes, we did know that.
Yes, you absolutely do.
Cool.
We were told earlier that we'd need to find a way to block its olfactory senses.
Ah. I thought we needed to block its factory-built sensors.
Oh. All its factory sensors.
All of its factory sensors. Or sensors.
All right. Well,
Rather.
it seems like
Sensor would be a different thing.
first things first, let's look at that fruit bowl.
I'm a sensor.
I'm anticipating 6 oranges or coconuts.
There are 3 bananas, 6 oranges, and 1 apple in the bowl.
Nice.
All right, so we're putting a 0 for 0 coconuts.
All right, and we should probably take a look at this smell recipe.
It says, combine the scent of 2 other people in whiskey.
2 people
Bring
in
to a
whiskey.
boil and simmer for several hours. Cool and apply generously to the entire body. There's a handwritten note in the margin. Takes too long. Put it in the microwave and take a nap.
So we need 2 people's scents, whiskey. Anything else?
Those were the only ingredients. And then the instructions. Boil, simmer for ages, which apparently takes too long, so we should just microwave it and take a nap. And then cool and apply to body.
Okay.
Oof, that's going to be interesting. 2 people's scents?
Well, let's look at the fridge, shall we?
Yes.
The first thing you notice are the poetry magnets scattered on the surface of the refrigerator door.
Ooh.
If you look inside the refrigerator, you notice it's crammed full of foods of all types. And you can now open the last image that I've sent you, which is the poetry magnets image.
Right. Again, for people at home, you have access to this in the show notes.
Oh, yay.
Okay. We have poetry magnets, not poetry magnates. That's a different thing. They all have different things written on them. Some of them are words like the or key. Some of them or is. Some of them are shortened little bits like NE or EY or ID. Sorry, not ID, DI. Presumably we're going to have to make something out of these. Are you writing them all the right way up?
Yep.
Cool. I will allow you to do that, and then I will consult you. Me.
Problem with those is's.
Yeah.
Are they upside down?
Oh, you're right. One of them could be upside down. It could be SI instead of IS.
I kind of look like those S's look like they're differently orientated.
Yeah,
it might not be.
Maybe one's
but...
is and one's C. That'd be a fun trick. I'd do that if I was making a puzzle. Same with the no, ID couldn't be DI. Sorry,
No.
DI. It definitely is. It couldn't be ID.
Yeah.
Anything else? DE? Could that be upside down?
D's can't be upside down.
It can't be. It can be upside down, but it can be backwards.
Yeah.
I
think that's it.
Oh, an in. In could be knee.
Oh, I wrote it as knee.
Could be in, though.
You're right.
So it's either IN or NI.
That makes sense.
Probably IN, but maybe NI.
I didn't even notice that one.
So we want to stick this together to make something?
All right. Yes, we can do this.
Sure. I mean, look, this is the key, so maybe it's the key is in. It would be a good place to start.
I do like that.
The key is in the.
Can I borrow a pencil?
Yeah, you can borrow a pencil.
No, the other pencil.
Yeah, you can borrow the other pencil.
Cool. I just feel like I shouldn't write on these. Okay, so the key is in the chest.
Chest is good. What do we have after that? What do we have left after the key is in the chest?
A lot. Turkey?
Ooh, something does say turkey. Maybe the turkey chest. The chest of the turkey. So what do we have left to get rid of turkey as a word?
Medicine.
Ah, the key is in the medicine chest turkey? That what you've got?
Then I've been left with DEIS. Inside. Oh, not just inside.
Okay, so the key is inside
the medicine chest turkey. I'm sure that has a real order.
The turkey key?
Is there a turkey in the oven?
There's a turkey in the refrigerator, but
not
in the oven.
The fridge has food.
Is there a do we need a key for the turkey? Is there a turkey key?
Yes, the turkey is locked.
I stick my hand right up that turkey.
There is a whole turkey. There is a whole turkey inside the refrigerator.
I stick my hand up the turkey.
You reach into the cavity and feel around. After a moment, you find a small key.
Which will be for the medicine chest. The medicine chest key is inside the turkey.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Let's head over to the medicine chest.
Well, no, I got to draw that. But yeah, it's okay. While that is happening,
All right.
While I'm drawing this, we can do that.
The key fits perfectly in the small hole. The medicine chest swings open. It's practically empty. The only thing inside is a tube of Denham's dentifrice.
All right. Do we need...
What is that? What did we just get?
It's essentially toothpaste.
Ah.
Does that smell like somebody? Would you say that some people smell like toothpaste?
It doesn't smell like a person, unfortunately.
Okay, so what we also did, we finally got all of those numbers on that quilt.
Yes.
And you might note they are the numbers 1 to 9, much like coat hangers.
Oh.
However, I do not know how to get the toilet onto a coat hanger. So perhaps do we have to...
I'm sorry.
So, how are we going to connect these things that I feel surely have a connection?
Yeah, because that's the only other thing that's been 1 to 9.
Do you think it's about ordering them? Because we could just move the coat hangers into a certain order. Because we have these numbers in an order.
Maybe.
Now.
Do we have the numbers in an order? I suppose we do.
Well, we read the pictures out in an order.
Okay. I mean, but what happens if we go to the cupboard and put the coat hangers themselves in order, and we put them from left to right as 3, 4, 9, 2, 8, 1, 7, 6, 5?
Good question.
That's why I'm asking the game master.
Coat hangers look sad to be out of their order.
Yeah, okay.
So, in that case, can we go back to it? Back to the quilt picture?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Sure.
Just want to see. Let's take a look. So what did we have? We had a bear.
Mm-hmm.
Then we had a leaves. Then we had a duck. This isn't forming words.
No, bear, plant, duck doesn't mean anything. Unless there are clothes that match the colours of these things.
That's
Are there
fair.
outfits that look like is there a brown bear suit?
Well, there were articles of just about every color in the closet. If you're looking for something brown in the closet, you find a pair of pants.
Okay.
Can we hang from left to right, something brown, something green, something yellow, something blue.
Purple.
Sorry, something purple. Then something pink, something orange, something black, something red, then something blue.
Absolutely. I'm going to read to you what each item of clothing that you've hung up now is.
Okay.
All right.
The brown item is a pair of pants. The green item is also pants, but they're much smaller compared to the brown.
Mm-hmm.
The yellow item is a sweater. Purple is an evening gown. Pink is a camisole. Orange is overalls. Black is a nightgown. Red is a dress. And blue is a suit.
This is something.
I mean, is it?
Yes.
What is it? Pants, sweater gown, camisole, overalls, nightgown, dress suit?
You didn't write evening gown, did you? You didn't write gown. Now, I haven't figured out the pants 100% yet, but look at all the ones after that.
Seconds.
Mm.
So pants, seconds.
Pants, small pants, seconds.
Pants, short seconds.
Okay, so, yeah, I haven't figured out how to translate the pants thing yet, because my logic brain isn't working.
Yeah, how do you turn 2 pairs of pants into a number?
So we had a pair of pants, and then a pair of pants that were a lot smaller than the first pair of pants.
Yeah, are they shorts or little pants?
Pants, short seconds.
No, they're definitely pants. They're just a different waist size.
Okay. Do we get anything out of checking the specific waist sizes of these pants?
The brown pants are size 38, and the green pants are size 0.
300. Oh man, that is a lot smaller.
So 380 seconds? Is that how long we put up something in the microwave?
That sounds useful. All right. So we've just found something good. That sounds good to deal with.
Do the dress and the suit presumably belong to 2 different people?
Yeah, do these clothes smell like people?
They smell like they've been laundered.
We need to go to the hamper.
Oh,
we need rust remover. Does dentist...
You do need to get to the hamper.
Does toothpaste remove rust?
Do you want to try it out?
Yes.
You aren't really sure whether it will work, but it's worth trying. You apply a generous amount of dentifrice to the rusted latch, you leave it there for a moment, and then wipe it away with the hand towel. The latch still has a little bit of rust on it, but at least now it's functional. You open the hamper and are immediately knocked back by the smell. Ugh, it smells like a gym locker in there. There's no way you're going through the hamper unless you absolutely have to.
Excellent.
Well, we do have to.
Toothpaste is magic. I love it. All right, so let's take a look at what we need to see so far. We need the smells of 2 people.
Well, the hamper will presumably give us at least the smell of 1.
Well, it looks like there have been 2 people living here. The clothing variety is quite substantial, and it was a queen bed.
All right, so let's just say, you have a good point. So we'll just say that this hamper right now, the smell is the mixed smell of 2 people.
Yeah, we look for 2 very distinct pairs.
Just pour whiskey in the hamper.
Oh, God, yeah, we could do that, I suppose. that might be easier. All right, so we also need to find some whiskey.
There's a liquor cabinet. We've got whiskey.
We'll need to put them in our microwave safe bowl.
Yeah, that's fine. We got to boil them.
Let's use the oven mitt to the what was it, the pot holder, so that we don't have to touch the clothes.
Is there a pot available?
No, you haven't seen a pot.
Just the bowl. Okay, so because this obviously means we've got to deal with small pieces of clothing, I say we take 2 distinct pieces of underwear.
All right, we take 2 pieces of underwear out of the hamper. We stick them in the microwave.
You really don't want to go through there. The smell is terrible, but it's easy enough to find the source. You find some old, sweaty exercise clothes. Or underwear, if that's what you prefer. It's quite clear some of it is men's and some of it is women's.
Yeah, great. So we take those. We put them in the microwave safe bowl. I can't say that word for some reason.
We search the liquor for the finest of whiskeys.
It's the cheap stuff, but that shouldn't matter. It's not like you're planning to drink it.
You know what? Cheap can be fine. Sometimes that's what you want. I know that I feel better if I have gotten a deal.
and we pour that. We pour that into the bowl alongside the 2 pieces of clothing.
And then we put it in the microwave for 380 seconds? Or are we supposed to... No, I'm gonna work with that.
380 seconds.
Cool.
You combine the ingredients according to the recipe and put the concoction in the microwave, setting it for 380 seconds. The microwave hums, and you wonder whether a trick as simple as this can really fool the mechanical hound. Now, you have about 6 minutes before the timer's going to go off, so is there anything else you need to do in the house while you're waiting for the microwave to finish?
Well, just look at the statue of Icarus and wonder what the heck that was all about.
I mean, we still haven't unlocked the front door.
Can we break off the part of his wing that says ID?
That's a bit...
It does feel like it's a different substance compared to the rest, but for some magic reason, it doesn't break.
Won't break. Okay, that's interesting.
It can break if you want it to break.
No, that's fine. So the ID is different on his wings because that's the ovid part was.
That was interesting.
So what is?
I've drawn so much, I can't remember what we haven't used yet. Put toothpaste on it. Maybe it'll melt
Can we put toothpaste on the id?
Or maybe we should put it in the oven. Melt it.
Oh yeah,
my God, melt it.
Of course, it's a wax wing. Can we stick Icarus in the oven?
Yeah, you put him on the cookie sheet and you put him in the oven, but you haven't turned the oven on, so nothing happens.
Can we turn the oven on?
Sure. To what temperature?
Highest.
450. No, oh my God, yeah, 450.
You just gave me two separate answers.
Why 450?
Well, I said 450 because it was as close to 451 as I could get, but then I remembered it said page 450.
Oh, makes sense. All right, we set it to 450, the page number of the Ovid page.
When you turn the dial to 450, the heating element almost immediately glows red. You put the statuette of Icarus on the cookie sheet and put it in the oven. You're not sure exactly why you're doing this, but it does seem to be what the Ovid book suggested. You wait a few moments and open the door. The bronze statue looks exactly the same except for one thing. The wings have melted off completely. They are there on the cookie sheet in a bronze-colored waxy puddle. And in that blob of wax, you notice something, a house key. Yes. Using the pot holder, or the oven mitt, you dig it free from the rapidly cooling wax. Just at the same moment, the microwave dings to let you know your concoction is ready. You open the microwave door. The smell is pretty unpleasant, but not as bad as the smell of the laundry hamper. You give it a few moments to cool, and then you apply the stuff all over yourself. Now it's just a matter of walking out the front door.
Just to be clear, I believe we pour it into the bathtub and then roll around.
Yes.
It is canon.
And
Absolutely.
then we walk out the front door.
All right, let's give it a try. Let's see if we open up that front door with this key that we just found.
Covered in the foul-smelling concoction, you cautiously unlock the front door, listening for any sounds on the other side. It is silent. You slowly open the door. You see the mechanical hound poised on the other side. As if on cue, it perks up and extends its probe toward you. The hound cocks its head side to side, as if uncertain. Then it retracts its probe, turns in a circle, and lays down. You exit the house and walk past the mechanical hound, confident that you are now free. But you soon realize you are not. At the end of the sidewalk stands Captain Brazier, who is aiming the kerosene hose directly at you.
Oh,
he has a crazed look in his eyes. Well, Beatty, you got out. That means you've seen what's inside him. His laughter makes the muscles in your neck tighten. So what do you think? Now that you've seen it with your own eyes. These books, do you want to keep burning them? Are they as crazy and dangerous as they would have you believe? Something in the way he's talking makes you think that maybe he is really opposed to burning books. But then again, he's aiming a kerosene hose at you. If you say something he doesn't like, he might just douse and light you. So what will you do now? Will you tell him you want to keep burning books? Or that you want to protect books? Or maybe you want to attack him?
I say, I am the Grobgo Gabgalab, and I love books.
So are you choosing to protect books then?
Yeah, I love books.
You only hesitate a moment before voicing the thoughts that have been troubling you lately. No, sir, they don't seem dangerous at all. Foolish maybe, unimportant, but not dangerous. I'm curious about them. The captain lowers the kerosene hose. I thought you might be a thinking man. I'm glad my instincts were right. This whole thing was a test, and you've passed, my boy. His eyes are glistening. I'd like you to join the Phoenix Brigade. We're a secret organization dedicated to dismantling the firemen and protecting books. You begin protesting that he has been burning books for years. It can't be helped, he admits. I save books when I can, but it's time for me to move to another area. I'd like you to take over as captain in my stead, and I'd like you to find young recruits who will join our cause. You'll have to test them out in some way, of course, just like I tested you. Why, with some effort and the right people, I believe we can bring literacy back to the world. It can't be worse than the mindless drivel that passes for entertainment these days. Captain Beatty, you like the sound of that, and your first act as the new fire chief is to hire your replacement, a young man named Guy Montag. He seems bright. You wonder whether someday he would make a good member of the Phoenix Brigade. Back at home, you retrieve the book from the ventilation shaft. Without thinking twice, you light the fireplace and settle down in front of it. You open the book and begin to read. This will be the first of many nights you will spend secretly defying the will of your society and discovering the mysteries bound in those pages.
Oh, we did it.
You scared me. You scared me for a second there with you take out the book, light your fireplace.